All right, welcome back. Week 3, final episode of the week.
Yep.
So on today's episode, we're going to be doing the Stream It portion of what we started last week, our Pitch It, Play It, Stream It. So last week, each of us gave the other movie that is streaming currently on Netflix to watch that the other had not seen.
Correct.
And today we're going to talk about what we thought about them.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first? I gave you
the
movie Monster Squad.
I had never seen Monster Squad before.
Never seen Monster Squad.
So
tell us about the movie. Tell us what you thought about it.
About the movie, this actually kind of worried me. You had mentioned that it's in kind of a very Goonies vein. If you don't know, I'm not a very big fan of the Goonies. I don't really think it's all that good of a movie. I know this is another one that we differ.
Yep.
But you hate American Werewolf in London, so whatever, screw you. I'm going to take away Data.
This is key. That's One-Eyed Willie's key.
Well, One-Eyed Willie can go screw himself. I'll put you back. Just for Nick. But anyway. And so I watched it, and I liked it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great movie. If I had seen this growing up, I would have been all over this movie. This would have been my Goonies.
Yeah.
And I think, for I don't want to talk about Goonies, but for me, I didn't end up seeing that for the first time until high school. And then, so I never really had that nostalgia factor for it. But this, even without that, I loved it. I think it's funny. You've got Shane Black and Fred Decker doing it. Did the script and Decker directing it. I'm a big fan of Night of the Creeps and a lot of Shane Black's work. Lethal Weapon, the new Iron Man. I don't know if you were a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Iron Man 3.
Love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Those two are apparently writing the next Predator movie.
Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. A little much for a kid's film, but it's very 80s in the best way possible.
Yeah, and that's how 80s kids movies work.
Yeah.
You watch them now, a lot of it stems from the fact that for some of them, the PG-13 didn't exist yet. So it is definitely stuff that would have been PG-13 until this movie came out, Gremlins. But yeah, I mean, it really... Before you go any further, I will say that I am also in your boat where I did not see this movie as a kid.
Okay.
I saw it later on. It's probably been over a decade since I first saw it, but it was when it first hit DVD after basically almost not being able to have been seen for a long time. That's when I saw it for the first time, and I latched onto it then. I definitely, like you, if I had seen this as a kid, I would have loved it so much more. I would have, I already had a great appreciation for the Munsters growing up, because of all things, I loved Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein as a kid, which is sort of like the Avengers for Universal Monsters in a weird way. But this movie, I was a big fan of a lot of those Amblin 80s movies. And it isn't that, but it fits into that mold.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly.
It's that, but it pushes the envelope a little bit more in some ways. But yeah, I mean, I had a blast with it. It's one of those, I watched it, I'm like, I could sit down and I could watch it again. I could see myself this being a regular viewing Halloween thing, or even just a regular viewing thing for me.
Good.
And I know other friends of mine have talked about it before, and it's always kind of been one of those oh yeah, I should finally see, I should see a big horror film. Yeah, it's one of those. I'll get to it. So I'm glad you finally,
I made you watch it.
Made me watch it.
That's the great thing about this Stream It segment. We're gonna make each other watch things that the other has not seen.
Yeah, whether that ends up being a good thing for some of us or a bad thing is yet to be seen.
So it was a good thing for you.
Yeah, so it was an absolutely good thing for me.
But was it for me?
I don't know. I'm very curious to hear your opinion of this movie.
Okay, so you assigned me last week The House of the Devil.
Correct.
Which is a film from Ty West, who also made The Innkeepers and what else did he do?
Did Sacrament. He's very much involved with kind of the Swanberg era group of independent filmmakers and stuff. He was in Your Next. He was the uppity filmmaker boyfriend in Your Next.
Okay. Interesting.
He did something for ABC's of Death. He's done some shorts.
And
stuff for VHS.
He also directed the second to last episode of MTV Scream. So.
Yeah, there's that.
So House of the Devil. basically this was made a couple of years back then?
Yeah,
2009.
9 or 10.
Yeah, I remember looking. All right, 2009, and it's a movie that is basically it's shot and takes place as if it was in the 70s, right? 80s, late 70s, early 80s, that type of thing. And what I'll say is, I liked this movie.
Okay.
Okay, but I wasn't nuts about the way it concludes.
Okay.
This is a movie that is you said it last week. It's a slow burn horror movie, right?
It is absolutely a slow burn.
It's an hour and a half, and most of what would be considered the horror elements of it happen in the last third.
Yeah.
But there's such an uneasiness throughout the entirety of it because you keep waiting, and it keeps building, and you keep expecting things to happen, and you keep subverting those expectations.
Yeah.
They smartly have something extremely violent happen halfway through the movie, but then nothing else for a long time, and I kept waiting and just waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's that weight and the expectation of the things that you've seen in other movies. Basically, a woman is a college age woman is hired to be a babysitter of a house, and she goes to be a babysitter, expecting kids to be there, and then she finds out there are no kids.
Yeah.
And she's kind of weirded out by that, but they give her $400 basically to stay in the house, and so she does, and things go bad eventually.
Yeah, but there's a lot of her just doing things around the house. Like
I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say, because it's right from the beginning. Satanic worshippers are involved. It's straight from the beginning in the text.
I mean, the movie's called House of the Devil.
House of the Devil, of course. It's in the title, right? So you know something like that's going to happen, and obviously devil cults, probably still a thing, but it was a big fear in the 80s.
There's a lot of kind of movies based around that.
And so like that element of it was very realistic to me, and once it gets to the actual when shit goes down, and the buildup is I wouldn't say that I was scared. I don't know what it would take to scare me in a movie nowadays, but it definitely made me uneasy. And like we had a discussion earlier outside of it, but the things that can bring me that level of unease in horror movies nowadays is not your Freddy or Jason's. I enjoy that stuff, but it's when it's real. Right?
Yeah.
It's when it could really happen to me, when I could be sitting here and some psycho comes in and kills me. Like that could happen, just some crazy guy could come, and that was what was effective about this movie. And then they take it further.
Okay.
At the end, to the point where a level of unrealisticness factored into me.
Okay.
And that kind of took me out of it a little bit. There's a whole thing with like an eclipse happening and all this stuff that just kind of felt like one step too much, to where it could have been super effective. But the filmmaking is great. It really does feel right out of that time period. It feels like you're watching, in some ways, a movie that was made right alongside Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of movies nowadays that try to recreate the feel of the 70s, the feel of the 80s. And this, I mean, when the DVD, like the home video release, there was a VHS release of it.
That's cool.
And it's one of those that it genuinely feels like this could have been ripped right out of it. Like a lost film from the 80s that they just like, here you go.
And especially because, there are some recognizable faces like Tom Noonan or Dee Wallace, and then one of the bigger ones, she's not the star of it, but Greta Gerwig, who has really exploded, probably even more since that movie came out. When I saw her, I was like, oh, that's Greta Gerwig. So I don't know if I would believe necessarily that it came out then, but it does feel that way. You're right. The filmmaking is really good. The acting's strong, primarily from the lead, who I should have wrote down her name. But I would definitely recommend it. Again, both of these movies are on Netflix, so you can check them out. But I do wish that the ending had been a little bit different, just for my taste.
Sure.
I could see why it would be effective for anyone. But we do have more movies for each other to watch. That's how we're going to do this each week. We're just going to choose a new movie for the other to watch. So I guess I've been talking. I'll just keep talking.
Sure.
So we have this Halloween theme, but I am going to to go a little bit beyond that right now for this choice, because it also applies to something that's coming out halfway through this month on the 16th. We get the next film from Danny Boyle, which is Steve Jobs, and there is a Danny Boyle movie that kind of launched his career into the skyrocket, sort of like his Pulp Fiction to Tarantino, was Trainspotting.
Okay.
Which is another one of those movies, just like Clerk. It's always referenced. Clerks, Pulp Fiction, and Trainspotting were the three big Miramax movies that launched the careers and the indie movement and all of that in the 90s. And you have not seen Trainspotting.
I have not seen Trainspotting.
So in honor of Steve Jobs coming out and Danny Boyle, an Oscar-winning filmmaker now, I want you to check out his movie, Trainspotting.
Sure.
Cool.
All right. Similar to you, not quite in that same vein, the movie I'm going to recommend, I don't know, I really wouldn't consider it a horror movie.
Okay.
It's definitely one that makes lists of, here are the top 25 horror movies you need to watch around Halloween, here are the top 25 gory horror films you need to check out, this kind of thing. I saw The Devil.
Okay.
You have not seen that, correct?
I have not.
Okay. I love this film. It's Korean. It's the same director. Did you ever see Good, Bad, and the Weird?
Mm-hmm.
It's him. It's his film after that. I'm blanking on his name, and I'm really bad at it. Something like that. I don't want to like.
Bong Joon-ho.
I don't want to be racist, and I don't want to mess it up.
I really think that is the name, Bong Joon-ho. Might be wrong.
But so yeah, Good, Bad, and the Weird, Tale of Two Sisters. Kind of a career that's been all over the place as far as genre and stuff goes. Did The Last Stand with Arnold Schwarzenegger a few years ago.
But yeah, it's a movie that I've meant to watch before, so I'm excited to check that one out too. I guess everything's going to be Devil with him, so next week will be The Devil Wears Prada, which I've also never seen.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I'm not opposed to it, so we'll see. And then Daredevil and
it's going to be all Devil.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is.
I didn't even make that connect. Thanks. Now I'm just now I have to continue out.
Devil Worshipper. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I guess that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
For this week, right?
Yeah. If there's anything that you guys want us to watch that's on Netflix, let us know. Leave a comment and tell us. Oh, we should check this out. If you saw House of the Devil or Monster Squad, let us know what you thought about that. Again, if you like these, comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Like the page. Go to our Facebook page. I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
We are on Twitter, the Over a Beer channel, as OABeer_official, and we're on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. I think that's pretty much it for this week.
It's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.